Hey everybody, I feel your pain and I've got some pain too. And I'm tired of showcasing how to take your image and convert it into an oil painting using AI in Photoshop. And then that technique doesn't work anymore because Adobe changes the methodology and the way they're using AI. Then I come up with another technique and all of a sudden that one isn't working for people. So I've had it with that. You guys suggested, could I do something like I did with ICM, and that is create some templates so we can add our own images and take over the creativity to get what we want. And that is what this video is about. Are we ready for this? Let's do it. Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. If you're new to the channel, this is dedicated to photography and as a photo artist, basically thinking creatively out of the box. Okay, let's jump into our program, and that is, I've been a little bit frustrated with AI in Photoshop, where I found a method of turning an image into an oil painting, which was really cool. It only worked for a few weeks and it stopped working, and everybody started complaining to me. And so I discovered another way of doing it, and I published that on YouTube. And again, I'm getting that same feedback. It worked for a while, and now with updates, it's not working right or something. So basically, I found out through the grapevine that Adobe's still tweaking and modifying the way it's going to use AI in Photoshop. And, you know, a lot of things are not set in stone yet. So a lot of times when you figure out something, it works for a while, and then they changed it when you get your update, and now that feature doesn't work. So I was requested, isn't there a way that you can create some templates like I did last time with ICM and do it with oil painting? So that's what I've been working on. I'm going to share that with you today. And before I jump into that, this will be available to you at right down here at the bottom of the screen. And I'll show you the screen capture of this stuff a little bit later. But it'll be featured at buymeacoffee.com/Stephen Photo Artist. And it's going to be $7 for 3 templates. One is going to be a portrait, square, and landscape. And then also an intense video training that's going to go beyond what I'm going to do right here. So I think $7 is a bargain, and this will work with any version of Photoshop, and you don't even have to use AI. No AI at all in this. In fact, I even tested this on Photoshop CS6, and it works. And that is a version that you outright own. You know, in other words, you're not doing a monthly subscription. That was the last version of Photoshop that once you had it, it's yours, as licensed to you on your computer, but you didn't have to worry about, you know, subscription based, that kind of stuff. So it goes way back and it even works. That's my point. Okay, so let's take a look at what this will do real quick. Here's an image, and you'll actually get these images to practice with. Quickly out of the box, I'm going to demo this one for you, but you can convert that to this. And again, you can control how far you want to go with the abstract on this. Portrait, something like this, to this, and landscape even, something like that, to this. And again, you can control your environment as how far you want to go with the abstract with this oil painting technique. All right, so with that out of the way, let's jump into Photoshop. And let me come down here and make sure it's running. Okay, so here's the way this works. I'm going to double click on my workspace. And the key thing is, this is what you're going to get from buymeacoffee.com, again, /Stephen Photo Artist. And that will be the 3 templates. There'll be a landscape version, a portrait one, and a square one. Now, the thing I want to mention with these is that if you look really close, you'll see the extension is PSD T. And T is for template. And if you're new to, say, Photoshop or this concept, it just means, and I'll explain this in a minute, that when I open this up, it leaves the template alone and forces this to open up as a Photoshop file, but untitled. In other words, it hasn't been saved yet. And that way, if you goof up the file, you're not going to mess up the starting template. Okay, also included will be some training, which will go beyond what I'm going to cover here today, and then some practice images. You're actually going to get these 3 images. You'll get a landscape, because I know some people do landscape, some do portraits, and some like to do still life. This is, you know, you could use this for wildlife photography, any kind of photography at all that you'd like to convert into an oil painting. So let's go back over here to the templates. And I'm going to choose, let's see, the landscape one here. So again, PSDT, I'm going to double click on this, let this open up. And notice over here for the new people in the upper left-hand corner, it's an untitled PSD file, which means anything I do here, if I goof it up, I can trash this and start all over. I did not affect my starting template at all. So that's really important. Okay, to do this, it's so easy. Just come over here and the instructions will be again on the video. I'll just double click on this to open up that part. And then I prefer doing this. You could copy an image and paste it in here if you want. I like just going to File drop-down menu and choose Place Embedded. Then just go navigate to find the image you want to use. And again, I'm giving you these 3 images to practice with. And I'm going to choose the still life right here. Click on Place, and that will drop it in. Now, you may have to resize it based on the resolution of your image, but just make sure that that is covered up. Enter on the keyboard when you're done, and then close out. You just hit the close button right there. It'll ask you, do you want to save it? Choose yes, so that's updated. And basically, this is what you get straight out of the box. So let that render out, and there we go. You might like that and say, hey, I'm done. But we want to have control. We want to be able to do some different things with it to get what we feel is our right interpretation of our image. So if you take a look at this area here called Extra Settings, I'm going to expand that. And this is really simple stuff where if you want to add right here by activating the button right here, what you're doing, let me click on this layer, you're adding some vibrance and saturation. You could adjust this. So if you want more, go for it. That's where you can start controlling things. Over here, this layer here, if I activate that, that's if you want to affect contrast and brightness. If I want less contrast, I can pull it down. If I want more, I can pull that up. Again, you're in control of customizing this. Okay, and then also here, if you want to add some kind of tint or whatever, if I double click on this, grab your color picker, pick maybe, I don't know, something in this range. I'm just changing that. And click on OK to accept that, or maybe you want to see this one a little bit better. And there we go. So there's a little color grading. Again, very subjective. I'm going to leave that off for right now, but I'll leave the other 2 up there. So that might be it. You might say, okay, done. But if you want to really get in and get a little bit more creative, if you expand this area that says Painting Style, if I expand this, this is your default settings. Now, you can modify things in here. You could add your own textures and color grading and other stuff if you wish, but this is what I'm giving you out of the box. You can turn these things on and off. If you want, you can change the opacity of that. So you might like that. Say, hey, how about something like this, where you have the little paint strokes like that. And again, on this layer, you could pull down the opacity. You can make it less or make it stronger. I mean, it's all up to you. That's too strong for me, so I'm going to pull that down a little bit. Let's turn it off. Let's turn this one on, almost like a, I don't know, a palette knife or something. And again, with that layer selected, you could pull that down. Maybe let's activate the one above it. Let's go for it. Let's do all of them. The point is this, you get to control this, but how about this? Let's go on this layer right here, grab a paintbrush, B for brush, and my brush is at 30% opacity, which I recommend. Don't want to maybe do that at 100%, but you can bring in a little bit more detail if you wish in certain areas. So again, as I'm painting in these different areas, again, let me turn this on and off so you can see how this is changing it. So you're allowed to go in there and again, modify that image based on your vision. How abstract do you want to go with this? Or maybe make it less abstract. Okay, that's the beauty of this. Now, I'm not going to spend time on this, but in this category here under the painting style, toward the bottom, I'll do this in the training video. If you expand this, this is where you can get into another area. And again, I'll talk about this more in depth and how to customize this in the training video. But for right now, I'm just trying to keep this simple to show you this is what we started with right here. And this is what I ended up with right there. And the biggest thing about this, again, no AI. All right. So with that out of the way, let's take a look at where do I find this at buymeacoffee.com/Stephen Photo Artist. To find the oil painting templates, that's all you have to do is go to buymeacoffee.com/Stephen Photo Artist, and you'll come up to this website right here. This is the homepage right here that you see. And by the way, thank you for the people that have been donating a coffee once in a while, because again, this is on a volunteer basis. I'm not monetized. And if you'd like to support my channel, you'll see the little button down here that says support. You can buy, 1 cup of coffee for $3, or if you want to buy 2 or 3 or whatever, you can go for it right there. But go to a category called extras. If you click on this, this is where you're going to find the oil painting template in Adobe Photoshop. Also the ICM training and the mat. So again, like if you never saw this one before, if you click on it, there'll be a little intro video, a demo for you to see what this is about. And if you prefer to purchase this, it's $5 for that one template right there. So again, when you come to this right here, oil painting template in Adobe Photoshop, you click on that. Same procedure. You'll click on this, say get this, and it'll be $7 for that. I really appreciate the people that are supporting the channel. It really helps out because there is a lot of time and expense in putting all this materials together. Hopefully these templates are going to be very helpful to you instead of using AI, which we don't even know how it's going to work. But this one gives us a lot of creativity in converting that image to an oil painting. All right, guys, until next time, see ya.